Welcome back to Making a Difference. I'm Steve Strum. This morning we have Alfe Corona, an author and cybersecurity professional. I am looking forward to the next few minutes to spend with you, man, because we have got so much stuff to talk about. Before I go into anything about the Batman thing, this book you have, the companies that you've served, I want to take a sincere moment to thank you for your service to our great country. I come from an Army family, and as we were talking offset, you're a former Navy submarine pilot? Is that the right way to say that? Driver?
It's very close to it because it was the title, standing watch, it was helm. The helm. So I was one of the many hats that I wore in the submarines was the helm as the driver. Like in Star Trek, I was in control driving the submarine. Yeah.
I would imagine that that's a lot of buttons and switches that I will never understand. I get enough stuff going back to our producers in the control room back there, and I look at all these buttons and switches, and I'm like, yeah, what does that one do? And it's, they're like, yeah, you don't touch that one. Of course, which I have to touch, and it blows everything up. So your service in the military, in the Navy, driving probably one of the more mechanically complicated devices that's out there. You then went to school and got super highly educated. I want to talk about your cybersecurity stuff, but then I want to talk about this book. So tell us what happened. I get out of the Navy and what?
I got out of the Navy, moved from Washington State to New York City, where I used to live, so I can finish my degrees because I was kind of almost done before I joined the Navy with those degrees. So went and finished a bachelor's. I was shy of like 3 credits. Got the bachelor's that same year I got out. Then went for the master's in leadership. It was a 1-year master's degree, and then soon after, I found out that my passion for cybersecurity was available to pursue via education, which I always loved, Fordham University. I gave it a shot, submitted my application. I really didn't know if I was going to get accepted, and just one of those things, well, let me just give it a shot, and they accepted me. It was a big blessing because I made the best out of it, graduated with a high GPA, and got that master's degree.
So yeah, Fordham, for all the people that may not have heard Fordham, small school, not a cheap school, but a really good school, and it's hard to get into. So you took your military service and the technical stuff that you learned there, got super educated, and then has now become a professional for hire, contractor, full-time employee, temporary employee, whatever the role is for companies that are like IBM, Google. So cybersecurity is such a broad topic. What is it that you do professionally that allows you to have the opportunity to be a contractor for a Google?
I always loved technology since I was a kid growing up. So I always had access to mess around with computers and stuff. So after also one of the things I did after I got out of the Navy, I took a coding class in a boot camp coding class. It was about 3 to 6 months coding boot camp in New York City, and it was very intense, very challenging, by the way, and hands-on projects. And I learned the ins and outs of coding, and I made my own websites for other people and businesses. And I was able to understand better kind of like the background of cybersecurity by having that basic knowledge. So Google, people picked up on that, that they were looking for people like me on Google. I went for the interview one day, and the hiring manager pretty much on the spot, he interviewed me, asked me some technical questions, and I got the job.
Right there.
Right there.
So for all the young guys in town and gals, service to our great country, not just a service to our great country, but provide you a pathway for professional excellence. So now you're a cybersecurity expert recognized by the largest companies in the world. Kind of cool. Tell us a little bit about your passion project, because we have 2 things on the moniker, right? Author, cybersecurity. Got it. You are a digital ninja, and people need to hire you to keep their data from being exposed, compromised, hacked, and AI'd, or whatever things are out there. That's you. You're that guy.
Correct.
Well, let's talk about this guy. Actually, let's talk about that guy.
This guy.
Yes, there is a, if we can't see that one, there is a little Batman that looks just like him. Why do you have a Batman statue?
So this was a gift. This was a gift from my wife to me, and I wanted to bring it in here because it really reflects the concept of the book, metaphorically speaking. And what I mean is that we are what we think. We are how we become how we identify ourselves. So if we identify ourselves as a smoker and somebody hands you a cigarette and you're trying to quit, you're gonna say, okay, I'll quit tomorrow and take that cigarette easily. Versus if you say, I'm not a smoker, that's not my identity, somebody hands you a smoke, you're gonna be like, no, thank you, and you move on. So that's just one example. And another hand is, okay, I may not have everything I need in my life right now, but I identify myself by faith, for example, as more than a conqueror, according to the Bible, if that's your choice of faith. And then you say, okay, I'm going to get everything I need to become more than conqueror. How does that look like professionally? Maybe that means having a couple of degrees. Maybe that means working for this specific company. It doesn't have to be a big company necessarily. It could be local, but making an impact in that organization and community.
Now, there's also this book that also has you, not the Batman version of you, but the you, and it's called You Are What You Think. I'm thinking that your story of the Batman here from your wife is a relevant bridge to this. Because I'm looking at the photo thing, and it's probably a little hard to see on the camera, but there's one here, right,
yes,
of you serving the military.
Yes.
There's another one you, looks like you're in your dress uniform.
Yes.
Obviously, there you are in all your glory in your suit.
Yes.
And I think that it says right here, Faith, the Man of Value, How to Be Resilient and Win. So this book sounds like it's a very similar offshoot to what you talked about with that.
Yes, you hit the nail. I mean, it couldn't be said better than that.
So what we're going to do is we're going to put your links on our website, so iwantabuzz.com, and they can come find you and all that stuff, which is great, whether it's cybersecurity man, faith book man, author, faith guy. But I'm going to actually read something that you wrote as we take this interview out that is something unique. I usually end it with live with gratitude because I always try to live in gratitude because it's important, right?
Yes.
You have a passion project. We are here in the studio showing what great people are doing in the community. So I'm going to read this. So guys, thanks for joining us, by the way. Thank you guys for joining us. If you like us, share us. And instead of the Live with Gratitude, we're going to say thank you for what you do for the community. Your impact is like a positive domino effect. Wishing the best, Alfe Corona, signed 5/25/2003. Guys, thanks for joining us. Until next time, check him out on iwantabuzz.com. And it is just amazing and an honor to sit with you, sir.
Thank you so much, Steve.
Yes, sir. Take care, guys.